Hello students, good morning. How are you all? Once again, myself Deepak sir with chemistry of class 7, chapter 2, physical change and chemical change with part 2. Okay, in the first video, we have studied, in the first part, we have studied about the changes and the types of changes. In that type of changes, we have studied about the different types of changes like physical change, desirable change, undesirable change, reversible change, irreversible change, then periodic change, non-periodic change. Then we have gone through some examples of these different types of changes. We have also studied about the physical change and the characteristics of physical change. I told you some examples of the physical change, like melting of ice is an example of physical change. Then magnetization of piece of iron is a physical change. Then drying of wet clothes, drying of when you wash your clothes and keep in the sunshine to dry, drying of wet clothes is also an example of physical change. Let us see how you can say this drying of clothes or melting of ice. Example of physical change, I start with that. Example of physical change. The first one I told you, melting of ice. How can you say that particular change is a physical change? Or drying of clothes. Drying of clothes or clothes. These are examples of sublimation. You know what is sublimation? I'll tell you now. Sublimation. These are some examples of physical. How can you say that melting of ice is a physical change? So if you remember the characteristics of physical change that we have discussed in our first part of the video, what is that? Physical change is a temporary change and it is reversible. Then no new substances are formed during the physical change. Then chemical composition of the substances does not changes during the physical change. Okay? So if you take the first example, melting of ice. Ice is a solid form of water. When you will heat the ice, it will melt and change into liquid form, water. Liquid form of water. So in the solid state also it has a composition H2O. When it melts and changes into liquid form of water, then also it will have the same composition H2O. Nothing new substance has formed here. And if you want to reverse back, it can come back into original form also. How? Just by cooling, by freezing. If you freeze that water, again it will turn back into solid form. So it fulfills all the characteristics of the physical change. So we can say this change is a physical change. Same way, drying of clothes is also an example of physical change, because here also no new substance are formed. As we strip the clothes in the sunshine to dry, what happens? Due to the heat of the sun, the water evaporates and changes into gaseous form of water. In the form of vapor, it rises up. That vapor is also a gaseous form of water. Its composition is also H2O. Okay? So here also nothing new substance is formed. That vapor that has risen up is water vapor that has risen up. When it is condensed, again it will change into liquid water. No new substance are formed. It is reversible. So on that basis, we can also say that drying of clothes is also an example of physical change. Sublimation. Sublimation is also an example of physical change. What is sublimation? It is a type of physical change in which certain solids on heating, there are some solids on heating, they directly changes into gaseous form without coming into the liquid state. From solid to gas directly. This phenomenon is called sublimation. And if you cool that gas, vapor of this sublime substance, and you cool that, condense, cool that, it will again change back into the solid form directly without coming into the liquid state. Like example of this sublimation, ammonium chloride. NH4Cl, ammonium chloride. Okay, camphor. These are all example of sublime substances. So in all these examples, what do we see? It satisfies all the characteristics of physical state change. What is that? No new substances are formed. They are reversible. What physical changes? Because they are only the physical state is changed. So on that basis, we can say these examples as a physical change. This type of change as a physical change. In this way, many more examples are also there for physical change, like glowing of bulb is also an example of physical change. How you can say, when you switch on the bulb current, what happens? Current flows through the filament and the filament glows and spread the light. When you switch off, it again comes back into the original form. Again we switch on, again it will glow. This is an example of a physical change. So these are some examples of the physical change, students. Read all these things, revise and change. Now come to the next topic or important topic, that is chemical change. These all things you might have studied in your classic chemistry. So all these things are there. Let us read a little bit more about it. What is chemical change? A change in which new substances are formed. Chemical change is a change in which new substances are formed. It is irreversible. It is irreversible. Irreversible means it cannot come back into the original form. Thus, we can say it is a permanent change. What? It is a permanent change. So we can simply write a chemical change is a change in which no new substance is formed. A chemical change is a change in which new substances are formed and it is a permanent change. A chemical change, a change in which new substances are formed Okay. Then, thus we can say a chemical change is change in which new substances are formed. Thus, it is irreversible. It is irreversible. Irreversible. So, what is chemical change? A chemical change is a change in which new substances are formed. It is an irreversible change, or we can say it is a permanent change. Okay, let us see how a new substances are formed in a chemical change. Or just I write the simple definition. You can also write like this way. Another definition of this chemical change: a permanent change. A permanent change in which original substance loses its property and new substances are formed loses its property, or you can say loses its composition, and the new substances are formed. Okay, this is a chemical change. Now let us see the characteristics of chemical change. As I told you, it is a permanent change. It is irreversible. New substances are formed. These are all the characteristics of the chemical change. When in any type of change, when you observe these types of property, you can classify that change as a chemical change. So see the characteristics of chemical change. characteristics of chemical change. What is the first one I told you? The change is permanent. The change is permanent and irreversible. If the change will be permanent, it will be automatically irreversible. You cannot reverse back. Then one or more new substances are formed. What is the next property? One or more new substances are formed. One or more new substances are formed during the chemical change. Then the next one, the chemical change involves the change of energy or exchange of energy. Chemical change, it involves exchange of energy. Either energy will be absorbed or energy will be released in the form of heat or light. So these are some certain characteristics of chemical change. What is that? The change is permanent and irreversible. One or more new substances are formed. How these new substances will be formed? Due to change in their chemical composition. Okay? Now come to the next part. As I told you, during chemical change, new substances are formed. I take the second example and let us explain that one. Second example was that new substances are formed during the chemical change. During the chemical change. How these new substances are formed? Due to change in the chemical composition of the original substance. You can note it down. New substances are formed during the chemical change due to change in chemical composition of the original substances. For example, if you take example of water, H2O. Okay? Example, H2O. It's the molecular formula of water. What does it contain? One molecule of water contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Together it makes 1 molecule of water, H2O. I hope all of you know the property of water. But if you react with certain substances, like suppose you say just to go it, let us go for the leave the reaction, just to go for the decomposition. If you decompose the water molecules by electrolysis process, by electrolysis, so decompose, and it will change into hydrogen and oxygen. Balance the equation 2H2, 2H2O plus O, 2H2 plus O2. This is a balanced equation. So if you see, initially water has some other property, but due to this electrolysis process, it decomposed and separated into hydrogen and oxygen. The property of hydrogen and oxygen is different from this water molecule. So new substances are formed. One or more new substances will be formed during the chemical change. Hydrogen is a combustible gas. It can burn. Oxygen, that helps in burning. Oxygen helps in burning. Okay. But what is the property of water? The water can neither burn nor it helps in burning. It extinguishes the fire. So, thus we can say during the chemical change, the original composition of the substances changes and two or more new substances are formed, which will have a different properties from its original substance. Okay? These are some examples of the chemical where the new substances are formed. Now let us see the examples of chemical change. Examples of chemical change. First, I told you cooking of food. Cooking of food is an example of chemical change. How can we say the cooking of food is an example of chemical change? What happens after cooking the food? The new substances are formed, and the food that forms cannot be reversed back into its original form. So on that basis, it satisfies the characteristics of chemical change. So we can say cooking of food is an example of chemical change. And digestion of food. Digestion of food. Digestion is also an example of a chemical change. After digestion, the food cannot come back. The digested food cannot be changed back into original form. A new substances form after the digestion of food. So we can say digestion of food is also an example of chemical change. Then curdling of milk. Curdling of milk is also an example of example of chemical change. What happens during this curdling? A milk changes into the curd. Now, can you change this curd into milk again? Okay, you cannot change it back. It is irreversible. Once the milk has changed into curd, it is a permanent change. So it fulfills all the characteristics of chemical change. A new substance curd is formed. It is permanent. It is irreversible. So curdling of milk also we can say as an example of chemical. So these are some examples of chemical change. So remember the characteristics of chemical change. What are the characteristics? The change is permanent and cannot be reversed. It is irreversible. Then it cannot be reversed by any physical method. It cannot be reversed by any physical method. Now, one or more new substances are formed with the composition properties different from the original substance. This is the second characteristic of chemical change. And during the chemical change, exchange of energies in the form of heat or light takes place. Either energy is absorbed or energy is released during the chemical change. So these are some certain characteristics of the chemical change. On that basis of these characteristics, we decide whether the change is chemical or not. As we have studied the characteristics of physical change, there are certain characteristics which tells that particular change is physical change or not. Like in physical change, what? No new substances are formed. It is reversible. Okay, so these are properties of that physical change. What is the property, characteristics of chemical change? That it is permanent, it is irreversible. Original composition of the substances changes and new substances are formed by new properties. Okay, so on that basis of characteristics also we can distinguish between a physical change and between a chemical change. Okay, students, now I have given you some examples related to physical change and chemical change. Now I ask you one simple question. Can you think of any certain change where physical change and chemical change both occur together? As you see, when you study it, you see the characteristics of chemical change and physical change are different, opposite to each other. These all properties of physical change, chemical change are opposite to each other. But can you imagine certain change where physical and chemical change both will occur together in the same change? Yes, I give you one example of that. Burning of candle. Burning of candle. It is a such example where physical and chemical change occurs together. In burning of candle, physical and chemical change occurs together. In burning of candle, physical and chemical change occurs together. How can you say? See, during the burning of the candle, some wax melts. After when you light the candle, wax begins to melt. And when it melts, from solid, it changes into liquid form and falls down. When it comes down, it condenses, again change back into the solid form. So melting of the wax and again solidifying back into the wax, it is an example of physical change because it is reversible, reversing back here. It is a physical change. But during the burning of candle, some wax undergoes combustion, burning. You see, when the candle light starts burning, some smoke arises from this. Where this is smoke coming from? That is the wax which is getting combustion, undergoing under combustion, getting burned and changing into the gaseous and rises, going up. Can you convert that gas back into the wax again? The smoke that is coming from the candle, can you change that smoke back into the wax again? No. That smoke that has that is coming out cannot be reversed back into wax again. It is an example of chemical. Okay, so on the burning of the candle, you can see both physical and chemical changes occurring simultaneously. How? Some wax on heating, it is getting melted, changing to liquid form, falling down. When it comes down, again it cools and becomes solid again. Okay, so from solid, it has melted into liquid form, again after cooling changes to solid wax again. So it is a reversing example of physical change. But at the same time, some part of the wax is burning and getting changed into gaseous form in the form of smoke and rising up, which cannot be turned back again into wax again. It is an example of chemical. Thus, we can say a burning of candle is such an example where both physical and chemical change can occur together. Okay? So these are some types. We have studied about the different types of these changes. Okay. Now we come to the important point of this. What is that? Changes involve energy. Change. As we have studied in one of the characteristics of the chemical change, that exchange of energy is taking place during the chemical change. But what about the physical change? Is there any change in energy? So remember, whether it is a physical change or chemical change, all will take place due to change in energy. Without change in energy, no changes will take place. This change of energy in the form of heat, in the form of light, basically in the form of heat and light. So we can say changes occurs due to change in energy, changes involving energy. Changes involve energy change. Changes involve energy change. Let us take the first example of physical change. In physical change, does any physical change involve the change in energy? Yes. We take the example of melting of ice. I just tell you about melting of ice. When do ice will melt? You know, ice is in solid form. It's a solid form of water. If you keep in a freezer, will it melt? and as the temperature is low, will it melt? No. If you take it out from the fridge, it absorbs the heat from the surrounding. Or when you heat it by any process, when it absorbs the heat, it will melt and change into liquid form. Now, if you have to change this water back into the ice, what will happen? You put in the freezer, what happens? At that time, water loses its energy. After losing the energy from liquid, it changes into solid form. Thus, we can say the physical change involves the change in energy. Either it will absorb the energy or it will release the energy when it will change from one form to another form. So, we can say physical change also involves the change in energy. Now, take an example of a chemical change. Does chemical change involve the change of energy? Yes. During chemical change, the change of energy will also take place. Either it will release the energy or it will absorb the energy. For example, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. I hope all of you know about photosynthesis. It's the process by which the green plants make their food. How they make their food? By absorbing the sunlight. By absorbing the sunlight, they're absorbing the light to carry out the process of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a chemical change in which the green plants make their food. Cooking of food is a chemical change. And how it is happening? By the absorption of heat energy. Another example I tell you of this, like if you put some lime in water, lime that is you put in the water, it begins to boil and release energy. The container will, if you touch the container from outside, it will become hot. Or when we take food, after taking the food, digestion takes place, and after that we feel some energetic. Sometimes we feel perspiration. Why? Because of the release of energy. Digestion of food is also an example of chemical change. Thus, we can say chemical change involves the change is dependent due to change in the energy. Burning of paper. If you burn the paper, what will happen? Light energy is released, heat energy is released. It is evolving the light and heat energy. Burning of paper, burning of food, this is an example of chemical change. And this, due to burning, they are releasing the heat energy, light energy. So here the change of energy. Initially, if you touch the paper, it is very cool. You can easily touch that wood also. But when it burns, it becomes warm or releases heat energy, light energy. After burning, chemical changes have taken place, and that has happened due to the exchange of either. That is why the laws of evolving of the heat energy. Thus, we can say a chemical change can also occur due to exchange of energy, either by absorbing energy or by releasing energy. So, whether physical change or chemical change, both will occur due to change in energy. Energy plays a very important role, either in the form of heat or in the light, for the changes to take place. Okay, students, this much. This is the last topic of your lesson. Revise all these things. In the next video, I will give you some questions and answers related to this chapter. Okay? Till then, take care of you.